So those that are at the Fayette County office will ask you to be seated, and we are excited about today's first presentation in January 2023. This marks the first session again in January 2023. It also is very memorable because we are entering our 10th year. We have had 10 years of Job Club. That seems impossible. We think back in time and go, how did that time pass so quickly? We've had the opportunity and the pleasure to meet so many great people, to engage in their successes with employment, and it's just been such a privilege to serve everyone that is seeking a job. And we look forward to this new year as we anticipate that there will be people out there that are underemployed, unemployed, or even seeking to change positions. So if that's you, you're in the right place today. And again, we welcome you. Today's agenda is going to consist of success stories. We're going to have a main speaker, one of our own, Amanda Schagane. We'll be sharing our active job leads. We'll have partner updates, as well as telling you what happens next time at Job Club. Our mission at Job Club is to provide a positive environment for job seekers and give them an opportunity to network and practice best practices for the job search. We meet the second and fourth Tuesday of each month, and you can find the schedule of topics at www.ukalumni.net/jobclub. I want you to meet our Job Club partners, our facilitators. I am Diana Doggett. I'm a Family and Consumer Sciences specialist at the University of Kentucky. Caroline Francis is the Director of Alumni Career Services with the UK Alumni Association. Amanda Schagane is the Assistant Director. Nicole Waite is an Employment Specialist at UK STEPS, Temporary Employment. And we also have on our team, and value so much, Lindsay Cottle, Christy Kaufman, Queen Sullivan, and Sunny Saylor, and Suzanne Smith. So this is everyone that helps produce and help that make sure the Job Club gets to everyone twice a month. We'd also love for you to give us a shout out if you're online and tell us where you are logging in from. We always are curious, and it's interesting to know where you are throughout the state of Kentucky, as well as our nation. So let us know right now where you're from. Job Club is currently hosted in hybrid format, and that means it's in person here at the Fayette County Extension Office. We've got a good group here today. We're on Zoom webinar, and that means that your chat moderator is available. You can also join us on Facebook Live, and that's a view only, no moderator or job lead newsletter will be available. We want to reference our free resource packet that is available online at our website. And you can see that we have a lot of resources there for you, for your search in employment. And so please check that out. There's just a whole array of information that you will find really, really useful. We also want to point out that we would invite you to join the Central Kentucky Job Club sharing community on LinkedIn. And that's where we're able to communicate with you in the interim of the 2 weeks. We get job leads that might expire before our next meeting. We'll post them there. And we will also be posting information, articles, just things of interest that you will perhaps need and find of use. We always welcome employers and recruiters, And we want to tell you that you have the opportunity to present 1 minute, give us an idea, give us a spotlight to share your active job leads with the group later on in the program. We have some to share with you today. And we would also remind you to watch your email later on this afternoon for job leads that have been sent in to us. So we will be broadcasting those through our newsletter later on this afternoon. Some attendees are conducting a confidential job club search, and we realize that. So let's please be respectful of their privacy and the job search of others. So check out the job search related articles that again are in that job club reminder emails. And then I just had someone contact me yesterday. This question usually always comes up during our 2-week interim, and it's where do you find the recordings and the PowerPoint slides from previous job club presentations? And that again is available on our website. If you're looking for a particular topic on a particular subject, I'm sure we're going to have something there in a past presentation. So it's www.ukalumni.net/job club. We want to welcome our first time visitors. Anyone in our audience today, first time? Absolutely, let's welcome, we have several here, first time. What a way to kick off the new year. If you're a first timer online, let us know that as well. We just want to acknowledge it and give you a warm welcome as well. You will receive a follow-up survey. It's very short, it's to the point, but it will place you in our notification system for future program information. So be sure and complete that survey because that helps us to be able to stay in touch with you. You can scan the QR code as well on the screen and complete it right now if you so desire. So now we're very interested in success stories from anyone since we've last met in 2022. So is there anyone in the audience? Now, success story doesn't mean that perhaps you've landed a job. Although last session we did have someone, and one before that, we normally do have someone that has perhaps gained employment. We do not have that today, but we define success in multiple ways. And that means that you may have dusted off your resume and got it out and reviewed it and maybe made some changes, or perhaps you've had an interview, have an upcoming interview, you've joined LinkedIn, you've reached out to someone in your past to, sort of tell your status and perhaps seeking some help in that regard. So anyone had any success online, in person that, yes, we do have.
Since my last job club attendance, I have had one interview and I have another one coming up.
Wow, awesome. Wow, very much a success. So, yes.
I had a class, did that class about interviewing to set me up to prepare for the behavioral questions. Was they fantastic?
Wow.
So to let you all know, go back and watch that one. It was good.
All right, so she should suggest that you go back and the last year's interviewing session, in our last session, in fact, and review that because she used it and she's had an interview and she has an upcoming interview. So she is giving credit to the information that she put into practice from that presentation. Wonderful. Well, I'm sure we have some online. Share that. It's encouraging, it's motivational, and not only to job seekers, it is to us as facilitators. We really, that's what energizes us. We know that what we're presenting is useful, helpful, and that's what makes us so excited about continuing Job Club. Well, today it is a real pleasure to introduce a colleague. and she is no stranger to Job Club. She's typically here. Today, she's going to be presenting remotely. And if you haven't met Amanda Schagane, you will want to. Amanda is Associate Director of Alumni Career Services, and she brings over 12 years of experience in career counseling services and adjunct faculty roles at the University of Kentucky. She holds many of the highest credentials offered to career counselors, including Certified Career Counselor and Certified Career Transition Coach. In December 2020, Amanda published with the National Career Development Association and has served as past president of the Kentucky chapter of this organization. She served as a regular contributing columnist to the Lexington Herald Leader, sharing expertise on job-related topics for working professionals from 2015 to 2018. Amanda earned her certificate in business administration, master's degree in counseling psychology, and a BA in psychology from UK, and is a proud life member for and within the UK Alumni Association. We're so happy to have you, Amanda. Welcome. You would be thrilled at our audience here today, and kick us off for our first session in January.
Thank you so much, Diana. Let's do it. To our online group, to our in-person group, welcome to Job Club. We're so grateful to have you in our community, our Job Club community. We're here to support each other. We're here to build each other. And so know that the facilitation team, we're truly here to support you. We want you to succeed, and we're invested in that. Today, we're going to focus on 10 game-changing job search strategies. Now, some of these strategies you may already be implementing, and that's okay. But the strategy of the job search is the more of these strategies you implement, the quicker and the more efficient your job search is going to be. So as we're going through these strategies, if there's something you're already doing, that's okay. You may be able to level up components of it, and that's great. But if you hear something new today and you're like, oh, I haven't really implemented that part of the job search, maybe you thought it wasn't essential, or you just didn't know about it yet, jot it down as a to-do item for our session. And we'll kind of launch right in here. Number one, and these are sports themed. I love a good metaphor. All right, strategy number one, planning for the job search. That job search kickoff. Some folks underestimate the power of the plan. We want to establish daily and weekly job search goals. And job seekers will often ask us in the facilitation team, how many jobs is it going to take? Like, am I going to have to apply to 30 jobs this week? And it really varies. It depends on the nature of your unique job search. No job search is the same. Every person who's online and in person, your job search is unique to you and what you want to do, the industry you want to work in, the job function that you want to do, your geographic targets, and all of that comes into play with the plan. The more structured the plan, the more organized our search is. But there's no specific number I would necessarily recommend for a daily or a weekly job search. Now, if you're unemployed, the job search is your job. So you need to be dedicating a significant amount of hours each week to it. And most who are on the job search will tell you the job search isn't for the faint of heart. It's a job to get a job, but we're here to support you in that. And the more of the strategies you implement, the better. Also, during this number one goal, the goal planning, start working on your 30-second commercial. Your 30-second commercial or your elevator pitch, you've probably heard it called both ways, is how you would very quickly introduce yourself in a networking moment. If you are at a coffee date with someone that you haven't met yet, or if you happen to be at a networking event for the Chamber of Commerce, or if you're at a conference, just a little blurb about your background, your skill sets, and what you hope to do. Also, for number one goal, start working on ordering personal business cards. If you don't have personal business cards yet, this is a nice strategy to kind of level up the goal planning piece. Vistaprint is a very affordable option. You can get a nice box of those for about $10. And you do not have to be a graphic designer to be able to do that. There's lots of templates on there. That's not a sales pitch for Vistaprint. There's lots of local companies too. If you're in Lexington, Southland Printing can help you with that too. But ordering business cards kind of makes that 30-second commercial a little bit more, easy to deliver your contact information in that way. Okay, we're watching the chat. If you have questions as we go through those, please never hesitate to ask. We're very casual in our approach, and Lindsay's watching the chat to pass those to me. So that's number one, goal planning and job search kickoff. Let's go ahead and move on to strategy number two. Put your game face on and update your resume. Now, I hope that the job seekers in the room have already updated their resume, but if you have not, Job Club is here to support you in that. And every schedule, we have one or two of our trainings, our professional development topics like we're doing right now on resume strategies. Now, if you haven't updated your resume in 5-10 years, that's okay. But know that trends change. It's a lot like the clothes that we wear, that some things go in and out of style. And so some of the things on your draft might be even aging you. So we want to be aware of those things. Okay, we want to be aware. We want to update it at least every year when we're working on our performance reviews is a good time to do that. So draft or updating your resume, and then ask someone that you trust to review it. We can't see our own errors sometimes in Word. And then you can always, of course, work with a career professional like me or Caroline to have your resume reviewed. Now, we do have the how to write a job winning resume already online. So if you want to do a more intensive webinar or training on how to write your resume, that would be a good thing to add to your to-do list. We'll put the link to that in the chat. It's ukalumni.net/career resources. I think we have about a 15-minute version of that presentation, and it's totally free on our website. You're most welcome to use that. Okay. So recent studies tell us that recruiters, hiring managers, HR professionals are spending an average of 4 to 7 seconds on any one resume. They're scanning from the top to the bottom and left to right. And so that tells us that, in just a few seconds, it has to be so obvious to that hiring manager or recruiter that we are qualified for the job. The burden of proof to be qualified is on the candidate. So it's on us as job seekers to make sure that our resume is trendy, right? That we're following the best trends and best practices, but also that we're communicating all of the essential skill sets that are needed for that job, so that whenever they see our draft, they are like, oh, this person needs to go into the yes pile. We need to do a deeper dive into their documents and see if we need to interview them. Most employers are using an applicant tracking system, ATS, applicant tracking system. And if you've not heard of that before, you might do a quick, add that to your to-do list, do a quick Google search on that. But basically what that means is we're filling out an online application. We may have to import some of our work experience, copy and paste some content from our resume. But the applicant tracking system, when we upload our resume, is smart enough to know that whenever an employer has specific needs or specific skill sets for a job, that it can scan those resumes for keywords. The more keyword rich our draft is, the more likely we are to get picked up by the ATS, applicant tracking system, and therefore more likely to get an interview. So if this is on your to-do list for strategy number 2, updating your resume is always a good strategy, and it's worth the effort. I've seen resumes go from good to great in 30 minutes of effort on that. Okay, that's strategy number 2. Let's move on to strategy number 3. Strategy number 3, play the full court game with LinkedIn. Okay, create or update your LinkedIn profile. Now, sometimes clients will ask like, I have a LinkedIn profile, but I never log into that thing. And I only check it maybe once or twice a month. If you're a job seeker, you need to check it several times a week. As a working professional, I would say you need to check it a couple of times a week, at least once a week. And anyone in the group, especially the online group, if you want to put your LinkedIn profile URL and network even within the group today, you're most welcome to do that. You're welcome to look me up on LinkedIn. If there's someone that I know that I can help network you with, I'm happy to do so. So we want to connect with our past colleagues, supervisors, clients. Sometimes job seekers will ask me like, I only met this person once. Is it okay if I connect with them or friend request them on LinkedIn? And you can. It's not, I would say, as close of a network as Facebook or Twitter or some of, Snapchat, Instagram, some of the other social medias. If they're at the professional acquaintance level, you met them once at a networking event or a conference, it's absolutely appropriate to connect with them. The more you customize that invitation, help someone understand the context for how you met, or if you're looking to network in your field, the more likely they are to accept. Other strategies on LinkedIn that you might consider: joining groups in your target or industry field, doing a search for alumni in a specific geographic target, working in a specific industry. And then we have a quick webinar that's a deep dive on LinkedIn online, and you're most welcome to view that as well. We usually have this on the Job Club schedule for the newcomers. We usually try to have LinkedIn on the schedule at least once a schedule. And I'm pretty sure it's on the schedule for May again. So if LinkedIn is on your list, spend some time on there and add that to your to-do list now. Okay. Strategy number 4, target your job search. You need to have a lot of job search balls in the air. We don't apply to one job and wait, apply to one job and wait. We flood the market with many applications. So we want to work on a list of target positions, job titles, employers, and your geographic preferences. And that's really part of our job search plan as we're building it out. It's hard to know what you want to do if you don't know what's out there. And so doing a quick survey on Indeed can really help us to shape our target list. But know that can change over time too, and be open to that. Identify and reach out to recruiters and staffing agencies in your field. There's a couple of staffing agencies groups even online, and y'all are welcome to share your information in the chat box if you like. But staffing agencies, recruiters, they are your job search friends. Employers hire them to fill positions. It's like hiring an external consultant to do some of the networking and recruiting pieces of that job. Candidates do not pay third-party recruiters or headhunters. The employers pay for those services. And so they're a go-between between the employer and the candidate to ensure that there's a good match. What else? Inside of our first timer packet, our welcome packet, there is a list of staffing agencies locally to Central Kentucky. I know we have some folks online that are in different areas, but some of those companies, Robert Half as an example, are nationwide. So you can use that at least as a brainstorming list of recruiters and staffing agencies that may be in your area. Typically, staffing agencies are niche in their industry or in those types of positions that they fill. So you might have to do a little bit of research on that. But if you haven't checked out the staffing agency in our first timer packet, definitely add that to your to-do list for after the session today. All right, that's number 4. We're moving on to strategy number 5. Play the field and work your network. Of course, LinkedIn is a great way to source a new network. Reach out to alumni. For example, if you're a UK alumni, reach out to some fellow Wildcats in your network. But don't be afraid to ask someone that you don't know to coffee. Informational interviews are where you ask someone about their story or their background or their job. These casual coffee meetings or Zoom meetings often do lead to job leads. The goal is typically just networking, not necessarily to source a job, but so many times I've had clients be really successful. This is the strategy that many folks pass over in their first round of job search. And then whenever they come to Alumni Career Services and they say, I'm having trouble with the job search, I've applied to more jobs than I would have thought, I've not gotten as many hits, I always ask them what their networking strategy is. And if they're like, oh, I don't really do much networking, then it's a strategy that we have to implement. Think about local networking groups that might be related to your professional niche or your expertise. There's lots of national networks that have Kentucky chapters or even county or like city chapters that you might check into. It's a great time to reconnect with past colleagues, supervisors, clients, vendors, especially if you're going to need to ask for reference information soon. Strategically volunteer or grow your network and resume. So if it's been a while since you've been out in the community, this is very common right now with COVID. A lot of folks hunkered down at home during COVID, completely understand that. And now is a really good time to be out in the community volunteering. There's a lot of need in our community. And it looks fantastic on your resume. It gives you fresh content to be able to talk about. And then finding a local job club like our Central Kentucky Job Club. There's lots around the country. I know some folks are out of state. If you're in Northern Kentucky, Cincinnati area, the Kenton County Library runs a great Northern Kentucky accountability group. But having a source of support and network is always helpful in the job search, always helpful. Research continues to tell us that the hidden job market, as many as 80% of jobs are attained through weak ties or connections, maybe a second degree connection. Someone that I know someone. I don't know that person yet, but getting introduced to that person. Employee referrals are a growing source of new hires, especially as employers tell us that they're struggling for candidates and as the Great Resignation continues. What that means for you as a job seeker is if you can network with someone who's in an organization, it's possible, some companies do this, that if that employee were to tell HR that they recommend you to apply for a job, they may be financially rewarded if you were to get hired or even for the referral. And that's just a really nice thing. So if a company has an employee referral program, it's a great strategy to start networking with folks in that organization. Think about alum who work there, think about fellow connections that might work there, and do some internet research, do that LinkedIn research to see if you can source a contact. If this is you, add that to your to-do list, and we'll shift on to strategy number 6. Okay, strategy number 6. Build a legacy of excellence, enhance your qualifications and credentials. Micro-learning is a huge trend in the last 5 to 10 years that is going nowhere. It's only increasing. And so you're likely to hear in your interview settings, what are you doing to stay on top of your game? Or what do you do for professional development? Or tell me about something that you learned recently. And if you are not prepared to answer those questions, it makes for an awkward interview, makes for an awkward exchange. But you need to have a plan for something related to professional development and how you stay at the top of your field or how you continue to enhance your skill sets. And a few tips that I would recommend for this one, if you're in this boat and if you're adding this to your to-do list, is to look up your local public library. A lot of them have free access to LinkedIn Learning, Coursera, or edX. You can get a library card, and then that'll get you access to a ton of free certification courses or micro-learning lectures that you might watch online and engage with. The Lexington Public Library, for example, has a great opportunity with LinkedIn Learning. So if you're looking to get connected there, anyone can join the Lexington Public Library, even if you're not local. But check out your local library and see what they have as far as professional development. And a lot of times that is free. You can't pass on free professional development. Now, on paid professional development, if you're able to get to a conference every couple of years, every year, read professional development books, learn about new certifications or softwares that are relevant to your field or expertise, that's really going to help you be on the cutting edge of your field and obviously more desirable to the hiring manager as they're looking through resumes and interviewing candidates. So if this is you and learning is on your list, jot down some of these resources to check out and do some research. So library, Coursera, edX, and LinkedIn Learning. Those last 3 are just websites that you can do a quick Google for. I'm doing a Coursera course right now. They're easy to do. They're self-paced, like online modules, but they're fun. They're really good. And you can get access to faculty who are in Ivy League schools on there and take free classes with them. It's fantastic. Okay, strategy number 7. Carefully make your reference picks. I had a client not long ago who did not think as strategically as he could about his reference picks. And he's pretty sure that it was down to 2 for a job. And whenever he knew that they had contacted his references because one of his references called him and gave him a heads up, but he didn't receive an offer. References oftentimes help confirm to the hiring manager, yes, this is the person that we need. They have the skill sets. Other people see it too. And it gives that extra oomph for the candidates. Sometimes it's down to 2 candidates and they can't pick between the 2. Maybe they're just neck and neck. References can make the difference for you. And so you need to carefully make your reference pick, but also coach your references. What I mean by that is you need to ask your references, do you feel comfortable being a reference for me? Can you speak to these skill sets? And then list out what you hope that they could talk about. As you're applying for jobs, keep your references up to date. You don't have to tell them about every job that you apply for, but if you interview for a job and there's a chance that they're going to get contacted, then it's a good strategy to let your references know. Send them your updated resume as you're on the job search so that whenever they get a call on their cell phone, they can put it on speakerphone and go over, find that resume really quick, and then they have some talking points ready to go. What else? I think that might cover for references. I'm looking in the chat to see if we have any questions as we're going through. It looks like a couple of folks have put their LinkedIn profile in there. That's fantastic. So for references, if you're not sure who to list, think about who has supervised or witnessed your work that's most relevant to these new opportunities. 3, 4, 5 references are usually appropriate. At least one supervisor, at least one colleague, a former supervisee. If you're a leader, I think that's really nice. We're shifting away more from personal references, like using a friend as a reference. Every once in a while, if we are working for a nonprofit, a personal reference may be appropriate. But by and far, it really needs to be people in a work professional setting who have seen you use the skill sets that are essential for the jobs that you're going for. Okay, that's strategy number 7. Let's shift over to strategy number 8. Play the business game and prepare for those interviews. Now, I saw in our success stories that we've got some interviews happening. And interviews are the make or break piece of the job search. We want to practice some common interview questions. Sometimes we can even find the interview questions for the specific company. I don't have this on my notes, but you might jot this down. There's a website that we like to use called Glassdoor.com. And I'll tell you, Glassdoor is where you go and you rate companies, and by and far, it's negatively skewed. No one's like, oh, I had this great experience at this company. Like, the people who are negative about it are often the ones who have an amplified voice on that. So take it with a grain of salt. But I have had clients find success in finding interview questions, example questions that companies are using on Glassdoor.com. So I would say for a source of interview questions, it's a very good strategy to at least check that website. We want to prepare power stories for STAR behavioral interview questions. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, by and far, most interview questions are behavioral in nature. They start with, tell me about a time when, describe a time when you used this skill set. And they set you up to tell a story about a time that is relevant to whatever they're asking. But there's a specific strategy that you should implement for it. It's called STAR: situation, task, action, and result. And if that's new information for you, I do recommend that you go back in the job club recordings and watch the last semester, the interview deck, the one that the success story was talking about. That's a good one. We also have an interview strategies that lead to job offers detailed webinar. I think it's 20 minutes on our website at the link that Lindsay put in there, the career resources one. So if you need to do a deep dive on interview strategy, you can go from good to great with a practice session. Don't underestimate the interview attire piece too. We want to dress one level above what the expectation is for what they would wear at work. So even if the organization dresses business casual, we probably need to dress a layer up for the interview. We need to wear a blazer or a jacket and a nice top. And then also, maybe it's time to schedule a mock interview with a career professional. There may be a little something that you're saying that's rubbing someone the wrong way, or a little quirk. And it's our responsibility as a career counselor to tell you those, because we want you to be very competitive for the market. And employers are not as likely to tell you that you messed up something in an interview because there's no reward for them in doing so. They're looking for the ideal candidate for their position, not to coach candidates. So if interview strategy is something that you think you could level up in your 2023 job search, add that to your to-do list and do request an appointment for a mock interview. So many times in an hour practice session, a client can go from good to great. Or we identify something, a little something that they're saying or doing. Maybe they're sharing too much personal content that can really be a game changer for the job search and then securing employment. All right, strategy number 9, push it over the goal line and prepare a business portfolio and or leave behind piece. Not many people will implement the strategy, but I've had clients, so many clients, be really successful with this one. So I want to include it. So I bet a lot of folks will jot this down for adding it to their strategy. But let's say that we secured an interview for tomorrow. Do we have a little something that we could leave with the employer, send to the employer if it's on a Zoom meeting, that gives them an example of our work? Okay, it might be a brag book, a testimonial page, a sample of your work. I'm trying to think of some specific examples to share. Work or writing samples, sales charts, statistics, testimonial letters from a former vendor or contract, CEU certificates if we're looking to take some relevant coursework, especially if we're bridging into a new area. Performance reviews, 30, 60, 90-day plan for success. Now, that being said, that's not a checklist of all the things that we need to bring. Like, there's no expectation that you are dropping off a binder after your interview, but having a little something to follow up with the employer. If candidates are very competitive, it can really push you over into that preferred candidate pile. If this is something that you need more work on, this is something that you should work with a career practitioner on, or a buddy that you really trust, someone who works in human resources, ideally, because we want to share content that's very relevant to the job that we're going for. Okay, so if we're applying for a sales job, showing a history of proven sales as an example for that one. But lots of folks use the strategy and find success in it. So jot it down if this one's for you. Strategy number 10, go for the win, research salary ranges. Clients will often ask me, how much money do you think this job will pay? I really don't know. There's so many factors that go into this: geographic target, industry norms, salary compression in an organization, inflation in the last year, certainly a factor, but lots of resources that you can use here. You might jot these down: salary.com, glassdoor.com, payscale.com, and not using any one of those, using multiple of those. But in an ideal world, the employer sharing that salary range online before, oftentimes it's a very wide range. And so sometimes candidates will assume that they're on that top part of the range, but actually the budget is a more narrow scope. You don't want to be the first person to bring up money. So if you're interviewing, don't ask, what can you share more about the salary? Let the employer share about money first. A lot of the strategy associated with negotiating salary tells us that the first person to share a figure grounds the nature of the negotiation. And if that's over your head right now, that's okay. But we don't want to be the first person necessarily to share a number. If this is something that you need to work on, working with a career professional is really helpful. But we did a really good salary negotiation strategy in the fall, and that recording's online with the Job Club Bank. And it gives some example language that you might use with an employer for how to navigate different situations. So we're here to support you and help in that. But researching current market salaries and really thinking about critically, based on research, what your talent is worth is really essential. We don't go in with a figure that we made up because we think we deserve it. It has to be grounded in fact and data. Okay, that's number 10. I think I might have one more. Yes. Okay, here's your bonus one. Self-care. Job search. The job search is tough. Anyone who's on the call or in person, if you're in the full-time job search, if you're unemployed, you know that it can be taxing. If you're working full-time, raising a family, got all that going on with the job search too. It's not for the faint of heart. So you have to practice self-care. The other day I had a client tell me that she had applied to 300 jobs in the last 6 months. And that took her a significant amount of hours. I know that she put so many hours into it. And so we went through a lot of these job search strategies. And in that, we're able to narrow the focus of what she's applying for. And so now we're applying for less jobs, but we're adding a networking element. So she's more likely to get an interview or source an interview from those networking leads. And so we want to really think about strategy and how we can use that to take care of ourselves, to provide for our families. But that self-care piece is truly essential. That should be on everyone's to-do list. putting our best foot forward is going to pay forward for health, hobbies, happiness, that likability, our first impression. It's going to pay forward in many ways. Now, if you'd like to work with Alumni Career Services on any of these, know that we're here to support you. Not everyone needs intensive career support, and that's okay. But anyone can join the Alumni Association, even if you're not a UK alumni, to work with us. It's a $75 donation to the fund of your choice. It's a tax write-off, and you can get started at ukalumni.net/career. At this time, I'm happy to shift over to any questions. I'm looking in the chat. Lindsay, do you see any over there? And if we have any in person, Diana, if you don't mind to go up to the podium. I can't hear if they're in the audience, but to pass questions, I'd be happy to take any from there.
I don't see any current questions. But one that we've had in the past is, what if you're in a job that you've had for a while, and you're building your reference list, and you don't want anyone to know that you're applying to jobs in your current position?
That's a delicate one, isn't it, Lindsay? Yeah, I remember that coming up before. We want to be so careful because we don't want our current employer to know that we're shopping around. They may know, but we want to keep that as confidential as we can. And so when we're asking folks if they feel comfortable to be a reference, I think part of that conversation is asking for confidentiality. If you trust someone enough that they could speak on your skill sets, you should be able to trust them enough to keep it confidential. And the job search, there should be no gossip going around. Don't tell anyone that you're job searching or that you have one foot out the door. And it may be that you are looking to see if the grass is greener. It may not be. You may want to stay in your current organization or your current role. So you want to maintain that that there's no rumors about you, if that makes sense. Yeah, I think that's a great question, Liz. Thank you.
We have a question here in the audience. I'll repeat it and you give.
How do I go about doing it?
Yes.
I'll stand up, so I want to make sure it's heard. I hope I can be heard. For the past year, I had a job that I love that unfortunately I was released from. And so I've been applying for jobs, and I've gotten interviews in the field that I'm trying to work in before I had this job. I'm trying to work in the same field that I was in before. And I've been told two things. One person that means very well to help me has always told me to never announce that you were fired ever. I've looked online and they said you should say, Matt, that you've been fired, but you try to say how you learned from it and how you developed from it, whatever. For my job search strategy, since I've lost this last current job, I've been kind of taking just this kind of, I thought about it and from both angles, and I thought that, I wanted to take kind of a no BS approach to it. So I'm admitting that that I lost my job, but I say that I feel that I can do it. I do kind of say that I feel that my skills and what I bring to the table is bigger than the reasons I lost my job. Mm-hmm. But I'm just wanting to get your input on what am I doing it right? Am I doing it wrong? What would you say I'm doing about it?
Well, first I want to tell you that the data tells us that as many as 25 to 40% of professionals experience a termination or a layoff in their career. And so if you're giving yourself any feedback that it's only you in that scenario, I'm 100% confident there's several on the call or online who are navigating the exact same question that you are. My advice for navigating that in an interview setting is I wouldn't use the word fired. I would use the word terminated if you do. I do like the direct approach, but we want to be careful in how we address it. I like that you are forward thinking about what you could offer to the role. I would keep it very minimal for how or why the reasons that you got terminated. And it has to be communicated as a growth opportunity on your part. If there's any bitterness or sourness, which it would be so easy to be in these scenarios on the back end, then it's not perceived as well. So for example, I had a client not long ago who was let go. They were reorganized out, and it didn't look necessarily like a termination in that way, but their role was impacted. And what we decided to say in an interview setting is this, and you might be able to use some of this language, is, unfortunately, in my last role, there was a restructuring or reorganization, and that impacted the role that I was serving in. And that has led me to the opportunity to really think critically about what I want for my next steps. I'm really looking for XYZ, and then relate XYZ to the new job. Okay. So we say something impacted the role that you were serving in less than it impacted you. Psychologically, that separates it a bit from like this person was fired or this person was let go. So the role you were serving in was eliminated, or that role was terminated. And therefore that's led to a refreshing of your job search and an opportunity. So we always flip it, an opportunity to really think critically about your next steps and exciting opportunities like this one that we're talking about. What I'm really excited about for this opportunity is 1, 2, 3. Okay. Does that help?
Oh, but yeah.
Good.
It's like, so, and something that I have put in on my applications and resumes is, like that I felt, and this is true, in my previous position, what it was is I was a bank teller.
Mm-hmm.
And I was intending to try to be advanced to loan officer in the coming months, but and I did have a very good interview to do that, but I got turned down, and unfortunately I didn't have any other opportunities to advance into the position. Mm-hmm. So I kind of said that I began to feel like a loan officer in a bank teller position. So in other words, I'd say that that's where I'm more fitting for that position than the position that I've been in.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And really talking about your skill sets and how the skill sets for the loan officer position and relating that to the essential skill sets. Remember, the hiring manager, their problem is they need someone to do this job. They need to know that the people that they're interviewing can do it independently, can do it. And so it's our job as the candidate, the burden of proof is on us as the candidate to let them know, to over communicate that we're qualified. Yeah. And that's what we have to focus on. Great question. And thank you so much for bringing that to the group, being vulnerable to the group. I respect that very much. If you have more questions, email me and we'll chat. Okay.
Okay. Will do.
I see a couple online. Lindsay, you want to read some of those for us?
Yes. The first question is, what are you seeing in regard to remote work? Is that market increasing, decreasing? They've seen some companies begin to shift back to full-time in office or 3 to 4 days in office. What are you seeing?
It's funny that this question's coming up because last week we were looking at some summary data for employers, and the data tells us by and far most job seekers prefer hybrid and 100% remote over 100% in person, but that there's a mismatch with what the opportunities are that are being posted, and that most employers are posting 100% in person, followed by hybrid, followed by 100% remote. And right after COVID, there were more 100% remote jobs than there are posted right now. We're seeing the frequency of that decrease. I don't know that that is meant necessarily to discourage us, but we're more likely as job seekers to see hybrid than we are 100% remote right now. A lot of organizations are telling us in Alumni Career Services and the Job Club team that they're having a hard time sourcing quality candidate pools. And that's because of this thing called the Great Resignation. It's because a lot of factors. Baby boomers are retiring out at high rates. There is a population gap, Gen Z, that are graduating from college and entering the job market. There's significantly less of them than there were millennials who were graduating 10 years ago, significantly less than the baby boomers who are retiring out. Those are good things for us as job seekers in some ways. But hiring managers and organizations are at a pivot point where they're trying to figure out hybrid work, remote work, who needs to be in person, how to evaluate quality of work and productivity for remote teams. And so a lot of the trends and research right now tell us that the next 5 years or so are going to be a period where a lot of organizations are testing the waters. We're just more likely to see hybrid than we are 100% remote. But by and far, the data consistently tells us that job seekers are demanding flexibility more than money from employers. And so employers will match it. It may take time, but we'll see more and more hybrid positions, I think, in the future. Yeah, good question. What else?
Yes, the next question is similar. They are looking for jobs, and the positions they are finding are national positions. And so their question is in their job search, what's a good place to look for Central Kentucky jobs so they can narrow their scope, and they want to have that networking possibility, making in-person connections?
Yeah. If you're doing a general Google or Indeed search for a specific job function, like accounting, like doing accounting work or doing project management work and not putting a geographic target on it, or even just putting a state, then your job search is going to be like the client that applied to 300 jobs. It's going to be too broad. The strategy of that, number one, the goal setting is casting the scope of the job search. These are the types of roles I want to do. These are the types of organizations or the industry I want to work in. And this is the geographic targets that I'm open to. And part of that is, it sounds like this person may need to narrow one of those focuses. And so it could be that they are doing, we'll use accounting as an example. They want to do accounting work, the job function. They want to focus on healthcare as an industry. They want to do accounting work for healthcare organizations within Central Kentucky as an example. Okay, so we can make a list of hospital systems and healthcare systems that are there, and we can start weekly looking at their job boards to do that. That might be a specific strategy that we do. Okay, but it's so unique to every job seeker. What if any one part of that was different? Then the scope would be a bit different too. Okay, that's why working with a career practitioner to really work on the scope can be really helpful, because with the right scope, you'll apply to significantly less jobs, but you'll get more interviews. And that's the strategy. What's next?
We have another question from the audience.
Sure.
Right, Freddie.
I had a quick question. Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's a quick question. For people that have been here before, I was eliminated after 25 years in the same position. So I'm on a struggle bus. I'm in a very unique position of redefining my life when I was looking at retirement. I mean, it was like right on the horizon. I don't want to go back in the judicial system. Sadly, that is where all of my experience has been. How do you have something online that you all have done previously? I want to move. I have the skill set is phenomenal. My administration skills are bar none. And when I go to these interviews, I really am walking the line between the two C's, cocky and confident. I know I can do the job because, one, sadly, I'm applying for jobs I am overqualified for. Mm-hmm. I'm struggling also to figure out, to search, to find jobs. One, I don't really know what I want to be when I grow up. Not something you want to do at this age, but I want to get out of that industry. I want to get out of the judicial system. And I'm struggling to find job opportunities to meet not only my growth desires, but my income desires. I mean, I'm looking at a 60% pay cut pretty much all the jobs that I'm applying to. And the ones that are within my range, they want specific, you need to have been an executive assistant to somebody for 3 years. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, I don't have that experience. I know I could do it. How do you transition the skill set you have kind of been pigeonholed into, really? Well, I guess my skill set's not pigeonholed, but my job functions were, because there wasn't an opportunity for development and growth, which is something I am looking for in this new one. If I've got to go back into the work field at this point, I want to make myself, I want to be able to grow where I'm at. I don't know if this makes any sense. If you can help me. Is it $5 to play maybe? Any assistance here would be greatly helpful.
First, I want to say there are two people in the chat with the online group who are saying that is my story. Like I need this question too. So you're not alone in that. What you're describing is a career change or a career pivot. I would recommend jotting down, go back to the recordings. Caroline Francis, who's on our facilitation team, did a really good session on career pivots and strategies that you should go back and watch. But in a nutshell, the strategy is we think about our job function, the work that we do, and the industry that we do it. And our experience and expertise over time grows our salary. What our talent is worth is what I hear you saying. Your talent is worth this value, but in this other market, my talent is not worth as much value. And that's hard to navigate, right? It's hard to navigate for paying the bills. We all have to pay the bills. And so whenever we do a career change, the more dramatic the change, the more likely we are to see a salary decrease. The more likely, the strategy that I would recommend for you is not a complete career change where we change the function and the industry. It's a pivot where one of those stays the same and the other changes. And so, for example, I'm assuming that means you do legal related work. And so we do legal related work, and maybe you worked at a law firm before. I'm just using this as an example for the group. It may not be your specific story, and that's okay. A lawyer who works for a law firm in a specialty area. Over time, our billable hours grow and we develop expertise in a specific area that may not be as easily translatable to different areas, okay? So the function is legal work. The industry is legal consulting. We want to pivot one of those. The easiest one to pivot is the industry. The expertise stays the same. So you would do legal work for a different setting. You have to be creative about these things and thinking about the strategy. Career professionals can help you brainstorm these things. We don't have the golden tickets, but we can help. Is thinking about what are industries that would pay a similar rate that are in your geographic target or that are competitive at that rate, where your skills and expertise would be easy to communicate to those folks with value. Okay, so if that's you in the online group, you're thinking about maybe a career pivot or a career change, that is a whole another layer of strategy. We're here to support you on that. You're not alone. Sometimes clients come to us, job seekers come to us, and they say, I'm so burnt out, I want to do something totally different. They don't even know what they want to do. If you don't know what you want to do, that's number one, the goal, the scope of the job search. And if that's not clear, you're in for a very difficult job search. If you need assessment work, if you need to work on what are my interests, what are my values, what are my passions, and how have they changed over time, career assessment work can be so helpful for these folks. And consider joining the Alumni Association to do those. If you hire a career counselor out in industry to do that, you'll pay hundreds of dollars. The Alumni Association subsidizes all of the assessment work that we do. And Caroline and I are credentialed in all those assessments. If you need that work, we're here to support you in that. But I would say, for your question and for the ones that are in the chat who are saying, I understand the struggle, really think critically about career pivot versus a career change. Okay. Any other questions in person, Diana?
Any other questions here in the audience? No, I don't believe so.
Okay. And then any online, Lindsay?
Yes. Someone is asking about something that they were taught by a career coach, says that they should avoid applying to Fortune 1000 companies if they're over 45. So do you agree with that? What's a good rule of thumb?
I don't think that you're limited based on age for any jobs, unless there's a criteria for that. There are some very specific jobs that you can't do. Like if you, the FBI will often recruit at UK, and in order to be an FBI agent, you have to be under an age threshold. Like there's a criteria for that. But I would say less about the age number. I'm less concerned about that. Age discrimination and bias is a real thing. I'm not minimizing that. But implementing other strategies to navigate that, networking is the biggest one, I think. Anyone can network into an organization and build their network, and that pays forward even if you don't decide to join that organization. So I don't know that I agree with that feedback. but it may have been given in different context than what we have here. I'm going off this much information. They may have had more context than I do. So I would say happy to chat more about that. But my gut says maybe not. I don't know that I agree with that.
And the last question, Jane says that she is almost 64 and she's worked with her previous employer for 25 years. What suggestions do you have, or what strategies do you suggest for overcoming perceived limit to long-term employment by a new employer? They've focused on how much they loved their past job, had a great career. They've talked about their abilities and desire to assist and train and empower younger, less experienced employees.
I think the answer is right there in the response is that person obviously is very loyal. And I would try to communicate in the resume and the interview the piece about loyalty and dedication, but looking for growth, looking for a change in that way. And I think that's some of the biggest selling feature that this candidate could share is the 25-year longevity with one organization. I respect the heck out of that. Happy to chat more offline about that one too. That's a good one. Any others online, Lindsay?
That was all that I see.
Okay. All right. Thank you all so much. I'm happy to answer other questions. I'll put my email address into the chat. But for now, I'm going to pass it back over to Diana. Thank you all so much for your engagement today. Great session.
Thank you, Amanda. Again, her email address will be in the chat, so feel free to reach out to her and with any issues or questions we didn't get answered today. All right, we have an opportunity for employers with active job leads to give an announcement at this point. So if you have that, please come to the podium or we'll take the mic over. I think we do have someone in the audience from the Department of Human Resources, Administrative Office of the Courts. Yeah.
Anyway.
I had to push the button on the bottom. So we're from the Administrative Office of the Courts. My name is Megan Lowe. I'm an Employee Relations and Staffing Supervisor. This is Donna Richards, our staffing specialist. So we are judicial branch. I don't know if that's where you came from, but yeah. So we're judicial branch. We are one of the arms of the government, state government. I wanted to pull up our job website now. We go through My Purpose, which a lot of you all may have applied for jobs for the executive branch. We now have collaborated with them. It's kentuckypersonnel.ky.gov or personnel.ky.gov. A lot of what we want to get out about AOC is that we're not just criminal justice. We're not just staff attorneys. We have human resources. We have accounting. We have auditing. We do have attorneys, and we have positions in our courthouses with the judges, administrative assistant positions. We post a lot of deputy clerks. So if you could just go to our website, we post almost daily. Right now, we have an archive and destruction tech that's at the State Law Library. We also hire throughout the entire state of Kentucky. So all 120 counties in Kentucky, we hire throughout the entire state. If you have any questions, let myself, Megan, or Donna know. We'll be happy to answer your questions. Thank you.
All right. So we will get your information and get that into our email newsletter so that we can share that to you. Do we have anyone else? Do we have anyone online who would like to make an announcement? Okay, please email us today by 12 noon at jobclub@uky.edu, and we'll include them in our post-meeting job lead list.
Hey, Diana, we actually do have an employer online, Brandon King. Is it okay if we do a 1-minute spotlight real quick for him?
Sure.
Okay, Brandon, I'm going to hit allow to talk. It should give you access on your end. You may have to hit accept.
Thank you very much. Yeah, hopefully you can hear me okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
my name
I
is
can hear you
Brandon King.
perfectly. Go for it.
Wonderful. My name is Brandon King. I represent Integrated Security Solutions of Nicholasville, Kentucky. We're currently seeking 5 different positions with our company. We're a small family-owned business here in Nicholasville. Company's growing. We have over roughly 50 employees currently. The positions that we're currently seeking for are in technology, client computing, in account services, which is kind of like a project manager position. 2 positions in our call center, which handle customer and vendor relations. And then also a finance warehouse position, which is kind of a hybrid position that would be reporting actually directly to me. I'm the controller for the business. I'll go ahead and put in the chat my my email address and also our company email as well. But again, we're a local company servicing nationwide customers and growing, and just wanted to share those positions with the group.
Excellent. And if you would go ahead and send that to jobclub@uky.edu, that'll go directly to our newsletter manager, Suzanne Smith. So that'd be great. All right. Any others? Any other job leads? All right. Thank you for sharing. Now we're going to share briefly about job programs and news from our job club facilitators. The first is cooperative extension. And, I know you mentioned that you had jobs throughout the state. We have participants from nearly every county on Job Club. And a lot of that is through the UK Extension service community, as well as alumni and general public as well. But we want you to be sure to check in with your extension office in your local county to make sure that you are taking advantage of all the education and the programming that's being provided by the extension service. So Fayette County is no exception. There's exciting programs. They're here within the office as I speak, and the same goes for your local cooperative extension service. And now we have an update from UK Steps. And as I understand, is Nicole online? Can she make that report today?
Can you hear me, Diane?
Yeah, we can.
Oh, okay. All right. Just wanted to make sure. Hello, great session, Amanda, and hello to everyone in the audience. Hope that you got some great nuggets from Amanda today, as always. And so I will not keep you. Once again, my name is Nicole Wade. I am with the University of Kentucky Steps Office here in Human Resources and Employment. And we do have a few job leads today, but this does not limit what we have available. So I'm going to put those in the chat. Feel free also to click on the link to search for all jobs here at the university. There's instructions on how to apply for steps. 1 second here, I'll get that put in for you all. And of course, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I do want to point out that steps, of course, is a great way to get your foot in the door for those who do not know here at the University of Kentucky. Although with temporary employment, we do offer benefits for those that work in full-time positions. So we always encourage people, if that's your goal, is to get your foot in the door with the university, to gain some experience, gain some knowledge, networking, learn the systems here. Then steps is a great way to get started. So once again, feel free to contact me, and I've listed those jobs in the chat, and they'll also be shared in the letter this afternoon. So glad that you all got to attend today, and hope that you found the job that you want. But if not, we hope to see you back here at Job Club.
Thanks, Nicole. Thanks so much. And I see that she has posted just a few opportunities from Steps, and go to the website. Absolutely. That information will be in the email newsletter as well. And we are so grateful to have Nicole as a link to Steps, which can be a wonderful bridge between employment opportunities. So check that out if you wish and are in need. And now we have UK Alumni Career Services. Amanda, are you going to give us an update on that?
Sure, I can do that one real fast. If you're in need of additional career support outside of Job Club, know that Caroline, Queen, and I are a credentialed career support team right here locally for you. We offer in-person and Zoom appointments. So if you're not local, we're happy to accommodate on Zoom. If you need career assessment, career change, resume, job search strategies, interview strategies, we're here to support for those topics. So would love to work with you.
Thank you, Amanda. Next time at Job Club, January the 24th, it will be on Interviewing 101. We never exclude this topic in any of our semesters, and we're going to start out at the very beginning with it because this is such an essential strategy. Caroline Snowden, from the Business Development Associate with VACO, and Condor Owen, recruiter from VACO. So this will be, again, a different perspective. We love to give that. We could just bring up a past segment on interviewing and run it for you, but we don't want to do that. We want to give a lot of different perspectives and opinions and real life situations on how different companies, CEOs, HR associates actually do their job and what they're looking for. So don't miss this one. Write it down. We look forward to you. We are so pleased to have a wonderful audience here in person. And we, again, are very happy that those of you that joined us online. So until then, on behalf of UK Alumni Association and UK's Temporary Steps and the Cooperative Extension Service for the University of Kentucky, thank you, and we'll see you next time.